Okay, hi. So everyone, here we are today now with the warm-up section. Okay, now we all know and we hear so much about the warm-up section, right? There are warm-up exercises. So what is a warm-up? What do you want to do in a warm-up? Basically, there are two things. You want to warm up body for that particular sport, and you also want to psychologically warm up as well. You want your body to be tuned towards something. You want to be thinking. You don't just want a body which is warm, but your mind is not switched on. And I always tell this to people, what is it that you want in sport? You want a body that works efficiently with the mind. That's the main difference, right? Because if it's just about doing some movements, most people can. What's the difference between a sports person? Their body can perform certain things at timing. Okay, not about throwing a punch. It's throwing a punch at the right time. A boxer, that's the difference between somebody else who can also throw a punch. It's not just about throwing a ball. It's about throwing the ball in the right direction at the right time. Okay, so when we're looking at warm up, we start from a state where the player has come to you, say early morning, there's a session, 6 o'clock, and now you want to get the warm up done. What do you start with? So, what's the first thing that you would want a person to do? Okay, when they come early in the morning, youngsters, all this in a big group comes to you. You want them to get into some discipline, right? You want them to be listening. But what do we do instead? We tell them, hey guys, come on, don't talk, this, that, and they're all talking. How do you get them quiet for a while? How do you make sure they know why they're here? Get them to keep their eyes closed and just put their hands together and let them just get some grounding. So what we do is, let's say is one of the players, they stand there, hands together, eyes closed. So imagine there's a big group, okay, there's maybe 20 athletes with you, 10 athletes, whatever number. Now they're all quiet. This is their time for centering. Okay, they just ground themselves, they know why they are here. So you can give them a target again to work the mind. Ask the players, what are the three things you want to achieve today in practice? Do you want to improve your smash? Do you want to improve your tap? Do you want to improve your dribbles? So now they also have a target that they set. So ask them to set a target, okay, by themselves. So the person does this, the whole class gets quiet first thing in the morning. This is the best thing you can do. And this is an often missed thing. A lot of athletes come, coaches are just telling them what to do. The athletes are talking, coaches are saying, hey guys, don't talk. And it's just that regular thing, right? Everybody is just screaming around, there's no sense. So this allows people to center, okay? Let them have three things, remind them, okay? You give them something to think about. A lot of times if you ask them to close their eyes, they won't know. So you tell them, what are the three things you'll practice? So they have three clear things. Today I'll do this, this and this. Great. So now that once he's opened his eyes, okay, the players are all eyes open, they are all over kind of attentive, they've again got back, now they know what they are doing today, right? So what's the next thing? Now, which is that one muscle which everybody trains but most people don't? Probably the most important. We've spoken about legs, arms, core, stability, everything. All this can be completely useless if there's something simple that you don't train or don't improve on, and that is the eyes. Okay, and we all know the eyes have muscles as well. Because whatever strength you have, whatever power you have in your legs, what is it that will see the shuttle? What is it that will see the ball in tennis? What is it that will see the opponent's punches? It's your eyes. How many people really train the eyes? How many people actually exercise the eye muscles? Interesting, isn't it? Most people will not be working their eyes, though the eyes are really what ultimately makes everything achievable. Okay, whatever power you have, you want to send a shuttle to a certain corner. How will you do it? If your eyes don't see, can you do it? Let's say you have the best strength in the world, core stability, power, strength, endurance, everything. And we say you play with one eye closed. How much will that affect your game? Literally 50%. If we say that you can only open your eyes 25%, how much will it affect your game? So we underestimate the power of the eyes. And if you can improve it even 5% from what it is, you'll be able to see much better, especially peripheral vision, especially focus. Okay. So this is something which is not done again. Why? Because, well, nothing cool. It's not very impressive. You can't post on social media if you're doing eye exercises. But a lot of people don't realize that the eyes become, like they say, they're the windows of your soul, if you have to say. Okay. So the eyes are really important to exercise, especially peripheral vision, whether it's football you're looking at, whether it's boxing you're looking at, whether it's focus that you're looking at, whether it's a moving target, your eyes play a huge role, okay? And training your eyes without a doubt is almost paramount. You have to be. If you're going to watch an object and that determines how you sort of play, eye training is just a must. I have worked with players and they've told me that when they've worked and their eyes and when they've trained their eyes, they have been able to take lights better in badminton, because badminton being an indoor sport, there's a lot of these lights which are played around, right? So when those lights are shining in their eye muscles are stronger enough to take those and still see the shuttle. Whereas those who sort of don't do any eye exercises, for them it becomes a problem. So simple things, okay, simple things. This has to be a must, okay. Make this an everyday practice. Athletes will not do it because it doesn't look cool, nothing major, but you have to make them do. How do you do? Simple stuff would be one, hands on the hips, okay. You stand here, make them go to different positions. So first would be look up, straight up. If someone's wearing specs, ask them to take their specs off during this time, okay. So he looks up as high as he can, okay, for approximately around 10 to 15 seconds. Next, now look as close. Now this, where will it help? This help for somebody who's maybe a badminton player or a table tennis player. Badminton, body shots. Okay, just imagine if they can even improve and just half an inch more there if they can see. Now these are those small things which we are hired for to do. So we contribute to these things. Eyes, hands, right? Now look to your extreme right. Okay. Now the trick here is to remind them to keep their nose in front. A lot of times they tend to move their nose and look. So you want the nose to be in front and just ask them to look as much to the side as possible. Now look to the left. So again, awareness, this is amazing for peripheral vision, okay. Peripheral vision plays a huge role in so many sports, okay. Now we look to the top right corner, so it's like a box, you look up to the top right corner. Now you look to the top left corner. The time for this can be approximately between 15 to 20 seconds, and they can blink, of course. They don't have to keep their eyes open, they can blink, but they have to strain. The strain has to be a bit, it has to be a bit of discomfort, and over time that discomfort becomes normal. Okay, now you look to the bottom right corner. And now bottom left corner. So assuming we've done this for 15 seconds each, okay, they've sort of done all these exercises. Okay, relax. Now when this is done, you can ask them to just massage the eyes gently. You can sort of gently, with a very gently work on the eyes, work on the eyebrows, okay. They can sort of work around all those regions. Okay, if they've got any stress, sort of headache, this can also help. When the massage that whole area, face, maybe it will make the athletes more beautiful as well. And then you can also make them do a head massage just here. Okay, you can just try, and especially here, this side, press in deep. So again, if there's any stress, if they've had bad sleep, if they've not been, sleeping well, again they'll find that there'll be some of these, trigger points here which will feel better. So it's that early morning self massage or your workout sort of readiness. They feel better. Who doesn't like a bit of a massage? So done. So relax. So now we've done. First is sort of getting him centered. Second is now his eye exercises. Now one change can be done here if you're working with one athlete at a time. You can maybe use a pencil or you can use a pen, okay, and the tip of the pen, you can move that. You can keep here, you can move to this side, okay, you can move up, you can move down, and so on and so forth. So the tip becomes a bit more finer and there's an exact target to watch. Generally when we look to the side, there's nothing clear. We're just looking sort of a blurred vision in one direction. But with the tip of a pen, it's much more precise, okay. So they're able to focus as well much more. So this becomes one, okay. The other thing now that can be done, okay, and there are various exercises. This is just one. You could keep changing. Maybe one is this, where they've done all the box corners. The other could be where they could sort of do something where they roll their eyes, okay, one direction, then the other. You could then be doing something where there's a moving target. So if you can keep your finger in front, straight, and then from here side to side, you move without moving the nose, and all the way. Okay, you can even do it two hand if you want. Keep two hands, and go here and then go there all the way. Yep. Okay. So various, I mean, there's enough eye exercise out there if you go and check on any of these social media platforms. Okay. So if you keep your finger here, looking at the nail distance, I mean, variations are endless. But do eye exercises. That's the key. Okay. Now, once the eye exercise is done, what's the next thing that you want to do? Something which will help to build confidence. Okay. Of course, all this will happen in quick succession. If I'm doing a class, I will just move from one to the next, and that's over time you develop that skill, how to handle a big class, okay. So once eyes are done, next move on to breath holding, okay. Breath holding, great for building confidence, helping to calm the mind. What is the most uncomfortable thing in the world? It is when somebody doesn't allow you to breathe. If somebody strangles you, you could be the strongest guy, that will make you nervous. So this is great again to sort of calm the brain and to build some confidence. So what he'll be doing, and you can actually time this, you can make it now the whole class, everybody has to hold their breath for 1 minute. Some won't be able to, which is okay. Okay, so you breathe in and hold. Okay, and I'll just time and let's try with with Varun. Let's see how long he can hold. Okay, so when I say take your mark, go, you breathe in, and that's when your timer starts. Okay, ready? So take your mark, go. So as you can see, as he's holding, okay, the whole time that he's holding his breath, it is making him fight something. Early morning when this is done, okay, or before your sort of warm up, anytime, even in the evenings, it just connects you with the body. That time, when athletes can go quiet, because most of the time athletes like to talk, right? And most coaches have this problem of athletes just taking it for granted, talking, right? So you make them stop, they just focus. When you breathe out, let know. 55 seconds, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 minute. Great. So now that's something which puts him in touch with his body. He's focusing on his breath, makes you feel good when you can hold your breath for this long. Okay. And sometimes it also gives an idea when you are not able to hold for this long. Could be due to various reasons. Sometimes due to nervousness, could have had a cold. It gives you a bit of an idea about your health status. Okay. So this becomes the third thing. Again, nobody focuses much on breath. I mean, we all think, that, oh, one day I'll do some great magical class, where I'll be focusing and doing sort of, some good yoga or something. How many of us really do that? Okay. So you incorporate things into your regular practice. Now we've done three important things. One, first is centering. Second, eye exercises. Third, we've moved on to breath hold. Okay. Now we move on to sort of these joint movements, okay, where we actually look at now some physical movement. So now you start with the neck, okay. So neck, three positions you can go. So first can be sagittal, so hands on the hips, and he'll go down, touch his chin, yeah, and touch your chin, center you stop, just for a second, back, here, down, okay, two, back, here, down, here, down, okay. So you can do this say maybe 10 times, right? Now next after this would be, he does lateral. So how does lateral go? Sagittal plane, frontal plane is side to side, yeah. It just moves the neck side to side again. Okay. While doing this, you want to make sure that the shoulders stay there. You don't want him to move his shoulder up. You don't want this happening and this, okay. This again, people might make this mistake now. You want to be stationary and just the neck moves through its range, whatever is possible, okay. Good. So now two movements done. What's the third one? You move the neck through a transverse plane. So he turns, center, turn, center, turn, center, turn, center, good. So this again another 10 times, right? So now he's done 3 moves. Now we move to the next. Now the next one is where he starts doing some shoulder work. So we go from top down, okay? We've started with the eyes, brain, everything, and we go down. So here, he'll start with just backward rotations. From here, hands, his palms can be here, You can do one arm at a time, just one arm, he rotates, okay, backwards, yeah. And it's more of a swing, rather than a slow move, it's a swing. You want to loosen up, now the loosening up starts, okay. 9, 10, other side. So this is where the loosening is starting now, okay. 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, okay. Now next is going to start with some movements where the hands just cross front and back. This is what I call a swimmer stretch, and at the back see if you can clap, yeah. You often see, champion swimmers do this before their races and stuff, just to keep the arms mobile, okay. This is something, and do this clap behind, okay, good. So now once this is done, you can move. You've done your arm rotation, okay, you've done circumduction, you've done horizontal abduction, right. Now you move on to something where now the shoulders are used along with the hip and the knee. So this is what's called a wood chop. You hold your hands. Imagine you've got maybe um, a wooden axe in your hand, okay, and you'll go up and you'll just chop. First you will just do this movement, only shoulders, only coming from the shoulders. That's 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now you keep going, use your hip. Now involve your hip as well. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. Now you use your knees as well next. So back, and you go all the way down, full swing, that's it. 1. So you can see a nice mobility movement where every joint is coming into play. Right from the wrist to the elbow, shoulder, everything. Spine, stop. Good. Okay. Now same wood chop, you make it into a transverse plane. Remember, you want to get the player into transverse plane as much. So now from here, think wood chop, turn wood chop. Okay. Think there's a tree. Chop, you chop it from this side. 2, 3, good. Pretty good. And stop. Good. So pretty good moves there, done with this. Now something else which is great for thoracic mobility, just to open up the whole thorax. This is what is the traditional Indian way, where people work with club bells in a lot of the wrestling arenas. So you don't need a club bell for this, but you can do it in a similar fashion. Hold your hands. Imagine you've got a club bell and you go behind to the center and then the other direction. So this becomes a great move for his whole region here, right from his scapulae to his serratus, all this area, including his anterior deltoids, everything's working nicely. Okay, a nice full range of motion, especially for sports where the hands go behind. Maybe there are so many sports where the hand, if it's an overhead sport, this actually makes a good difference. Okay, good, stop. So now this done, right? You've done your wood chop, you've done your club bell move. Okay, you can next do what I call a steering wheel. Okay, so you hold your hands in front. Again, a great move for shoulders and elbows. Move, turn, and turn. Okay, again turn, turn. Often done, people do it with plates. You see them doing this. The range is not much in that. Of course, this extra weight of the plate is working the anterior deltoids to hold it in an isometric contraction. Not really that worth. Okay, but this can be done again. Nice loosening up for the elbows, for the wrist, for the shoulders as well. Okay, so this around 10 times. Great. Now once this is done, we can do that same movement behind. Early mornings when people wake up, okay, what is it that's happening? The pecs are probably tight, the middle trapezius, the lower traps is not really that active. So what do? You get their hands behind their back, interlock the fingers, okay. You can maybe just turn around so people can see. Now this is the area we want to sort of wake up, right? So you make them squeeze their shoulders, okay, ask them to squeeze, get this arm slightly here, lock the elbows, and then if you want slightly, you can make them do side to side, just this. You just want to wake this up. So squeeze, go side, 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 side. So you want to wake this region up, right? This is normally not that sort of awake in the morning. You want to get that scapular region slightly awake. Good. Okay, so this, of course, they don't have to turn and do it. They can do it in the same spot. We're doing this so you can see. Now, one more action which can be done, which wakes up that region behind, okay, which is great for just activating this region. From here, you can move one shoulder and do shoulder rotation, 1 and then 2 and so on. Yep. 1, and then one full range. 2, move. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this can travel full, can go from here, and this can travel full. You want the shoulders to work. Okay, relax. Good. So this is done next. Okay, you can turn around. So all this, of course, even the earlier one which was done, you can do it front facing. This also can be done, front facing. So your whole shoulder girdle is nice and loose. Okay. Now from there, we move on maybe something for the wrist. Now what do we do for wrist? For wrist, you can interlock your fingers, get here, lock your elbows, move on, move out. They're sometimes done in some prayer systems as well. Okay, a nice wrist movement, change, lock your elbows. You can do the same movement in front. 1, hold for maybe 5 seconds. 2, lock the elbows. 3, done in yoga as well, this one. So there's everything that's to be incorporated. Everything has something, get something from everything and mix it. Up, and then from here you can just go to the side, get a good stretch in the lats. Okay. Then you move the other side, again working on the lats. Okay, relax, good. Now you've done wrist. Now you can add a few more wrist exercises if you want. You can do a single arm if you wish. Okay, this can be done where you pull the thumb back as well. Then from here you move to this. Then again you move up. Okay, and then change the other side. Make sure while doing this that the fingertips are really pulled back. So you make sure they are holding here. Yes, they'll feel a good amount of stretch in the forearm flexes. And then change. Then the other side. Okay, good. So that's some good wrist movements there. Okay. Now from there, watch down. From there, what we do next is one sort of, so we've done up to now the wrist, right? We have worked different wrist positions, fine. So now what do? We start going down. Now next what we do is we move to the hip. So what do? You can start with some circular motions, okay, where you can do around 5 hip circles. You can start with small ones, and then by the 3rd, 4th and 5th or even 10th, you can go bigger, really as big as you can, okay, as wide. Then change other side. So 1, right, 2 and so on, as big as he can go. Okay, so that becomes the 5th, or so rather the 5 or 10 circles that he does. Now next what we do is from here we move on to some balance movements. So what do we do first? Okay, so first one we do is a single leg deadlift. So one foot stays there, okay, and you can keep a variation here whereby instead of directly going down, you can start the first one by just touching the knee. Okay, the person comes back, ask them next to go down. So first both hands, you could use both hands. So first to the knee, then below the knee, then middle of the shin, then your your socks still lower to the socks, yes, now to the shoelace, and then up. Change, same thing. So first is knee, below the knee, middle shin, socks, and now shoelace. So gradually we've increased the range while he's balancing, right? Now we do something else which is still for balancing, which is not dynamic but more static. He'll take his foot back, hold, and stay fixated on any one point. Okay, just keep your as you can, maybe around 10 to 15 seconds. Change. So here you can sometimes motivate the kids, the players, by saying, I want to see who doesn't lose balance, then they really try hard, to stay. Again, this is another great one to activate the region behind the ankle, because you're holding some amount of resistance. If you hold the end of the ankle, that becomes sort of at the same time an ankle strengthening exercise. If I'm holding here and sort of pushing down, it will still strengthen the ankles as well, along with stretching. So these are small things which can be taught when you're working with maybe smaller groups or slightly more mature athletes. So once this is done now there's one more form of balance that we can do, and the next form of balance will be actual balance work. Okay, so here he will stand on one foot. Okay, there are various things which can be done, but I'll show you a simpler version. Here he'll stand on one foot, cross the hands, okay, and then lift the foot, eyes closed, hold, okay, and hold as long as he can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. You can do this up to 30 seconds, but let's try the other side. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Good. So as you can see, you could not hold initially, which is fine. But this puts them again in touch with their whole body as to what's happening with balance. Okay. So once now balance is done, there are various ways you can do balance. You can make it fun in the warm-up. One day it could be this. Next time you could do this, where they're just balancing hands out and just staying stationary as much as you can with their eyes closed. Okay, so just try. Yes. So this can be one, then they can change position, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is one. Other forms of balancing that they can do is rope walking with the eyes closed. Let them close their eyes from here, just keep walking in front, okay, so on and so forth. So there's various things which you can incorporate as well in a warm-up, okay, but you want to work on different senses. You want to work on their sense, of balance. You want to work the eyes, you want to work so many more, as much as you can, okay. So now once this is done, okay, you move next. Okay, what do you do next is, once this balance is done, you basically get onto the ground. Okay, one move maybe I will show which can be done, which can be sort of incorporated just to make sure that the person kind of gets their internal external rotation done, is the Gomukhasana, a very good movement from yoga which can be modified, where we do only the standing part, we are not doing seated. So if you can just do that. So you can see this arm is going into internal rotation, this one is up, but still there's some form of external rotation as well. Okay. Now change other side, and sometimes you can see that sometimes you can make out some arms don't have that much range. Okay, so this gives an idea as well which arm needs some work. Relax. Now internal rotation, the better it is, the easier it becomes to play backhand. You can see even when it comes to sort of hitting shots, it becomes much easier to hit shots and to get greater range while hitting maybe a smash. Okay, because if your internal rotation is not that great, people tend to go more into external. Okay, so this becomes one move. Now this is something you can add for especially those who are into racket sports. Next becomes now straight we get to the ground. Okay, so from here you can do the 3-point stretch. Okay. And as you can see, he gets into a pigeon stretch first. Okay. In the pigeon stretch, both your elbows can be down. Yes, let your chest be right in the center of the knee. Yeah, and then this, your knee could be pointing to the ground. Okay, so you can turn and just completely down. Yes, as much as possible. Great stretch for the glutes to loosen up the hip. Again, something that is stiff in the mornings. Great. Here, without moving the front knee, you can move into the quadricep stretch, the side lying one. Yes. So he goes into this, lies down. So again, that leg is getting now stretched in the quadriceps. Okay, so that becomes the next sort of move. So he holds this approximately maybe 15 seconds or so. From here, next move is the glute stretch. Okay, so cross the leg, that's it, and then you hold. So it's the bottom knee stays in the same point. You have done 3 stretches there. Okay, sometimes what's called the 90-90 stretch, we've slightly modified it to pull the foot behind and actually stretch the quadricep a bit more. Change, you can try the other side. The first one is the pigeon stretch. Back leg can be as straight as possible. Some of them will be pretty flexible and be able to do, some can't. But yeah, the idea is to do it with the knee pointing down of the back leg. Good. Change, quadricep stretch. And next is now the glute stretch. From here, you can now move next to, maybe you can do a butterfly stretch where you just sit with the feet pulled closed. Okay. So again here, because it's early morning, it's a warm up, you can do a bit of ballistic. So it can be a bit of movement. Okay, just gentle movement. You don't want to swing too much, but yeah, you can add this. Next one post this, you can add is a deep lunge. Okay, so you could get into a lunge position. Okay, and go as far. Yes, both hands down on the inside. You could probably put both hands down. Yes, so it's a nice groin stretch that you get. If you want to, you can get some thoracic mobility by adding one move here. You can do it sort of both sides if you want. Yeah, from here you open out the hip. Okay, you can do it static, moving, but you basically do this. Okay, change other side. As you can see, people are playing around and there's matches going on, but this is what sport is about. You have to find, you won't be training in some place where you can warm up exactly how you want. So you have to just find space, and this is sport. For those who are planning to get into SNC, this is how it works. Okay. So he's done the deep lunge now, so it's free. So he's moved from here down, so on, so forth. Okay. He can then add one more, which is sitting in with his feet behind, which is sometimes called the Vajrasan, not sometimes, which is the Vajrasan in yoga. Okay. So he just sits in there. So again, a great ankle mobility work happening there. Something simple to do. So people who are more flexible can try to get the heel exactly under them and then sit with the toes pointing out. Okay, so this becomes one more move. From here, he can move into now extension for the spine, which is the Bhujangasana. Okay, so he gets there and just pushes his back up. Hands can be right under the shoulders for greater range. So if you can just get your hands further behind. Yeah. So the arms are perpendicular to the ground. Good. If it's somebody who's strong enough, you can try to get them with toes in, completely in, and then lift their glutes off so they float. Okay, squeeze the glutes. So this becomes a good move again. It's some amount of muscle, sort of endurance working. They relax. Okay. Now from there he gets into a position where the hips are up and he'll stretch his calves. Okay, dynamic. So one at a time. 1, 2, 3. So his Achilles tendons getting some work. We'll be making a clip where all these only exercises are shown one after the other, so you'll get a good idea about the warm. Okay. Great. So now from here, what we'll be doing, he comes up, okay, his whole body is sort of now ready, okay, it's nice limbered up loose. You can add a few exercises here and there, just try not to make it anything risky, okay. Now from here, early morning you want to make them run, right? A lot of people start running during early mornings, during warm-up. What's the most biggest complaint you have of coaches? They say, guys, stop talking, don't talk so much, everybody's, because people are just lost, youngsters, right? They want to meet together, have a chat. So what do you do to wake them up? Wake them up and make them talk less. You ask them to do backward runs, okay? So we'll be doing here. So if let's assume Varun is here, he'll be running from approximately here to there. Let's assume he's a young guy who I don't want to talk too much. So he'll start doing backward runs till there and back, okay? At this moment, can he talk? No, because he's focusing where he's going. His awareness is on, his spatial awareness is on. Turns, comes back, okay? Goes back again. So his mind is switched on the moment he runs. A standard rule I have in warm-up, start with backward runs. It's great for your big toe, it's great for learning to push off, okay, one. Then as they keep doing, you can maybe make them do a bit, half a ground of this. Then once that happens, ask them to do sides, okay, lateral. Can you show just some lateral moves? Okay, so let them do lateral. Then you can, or one of the leaders in the class can incorporate this with lateral, back, front, all of them, okay. So assume I'm the leader of this group and I'm making them do. So let's go, okay, let's start backward and you just follow my orders, okay, backward, front, back, side, back, back, front. So let's assume you are running in one line. So you'll be going in this direction, don't go lateral. Okay. So again we'll do this. Okay, so let's go back, front, back, front. Now right side, keep going right. This side, because assume you are running in one line, then left, right, back, stop. So basically this is what we want. We want that person now to be thinking. Okay, the problem which happens with most coaches, when people start running, they start talking, they are not aware of where they are. The moment they are running backwards, mind is switched on. They can't fool around, let's put it that way. Okay, so you have to give them some work to be done during a warm-up. A warm-up is not for chit-chatting. A warm-up is to warm up. Young kids will not do it right if you don't give them some target. If you just tell them that run, they will run. You tell them to just run and dream, they'll dream. So you have to give them things where their mind is occupied, they are thinking. Because a thinking athlete is a winning athlete. Okay, a person who just runs, there are hundreds of people who can run. But somebody who can run, think, who can work this along with the rest of the body, that's what we want. So once the running is done, what do you want? You ultimately obviously want them to also get ready for the activity, whether it's football or whether it's tennis, to really have a high heart rate. That's where the sprints come, okay? So you make them do some sprints. So if you can just do some sprints maybe from here, Varun, okay? And you can maybe even do this as a race where everybody does it. Take your mark, go. So go with at least 80-90%. Yes. Then again, go. Again, go. Ready, go. Cool, stop. So now this, if you assume they have maybe sprinted for 100 meters, stopped in 200 meters, sort of on a ground or somewhere, they're also awake. By now the heart rate is up. They're all ready. Okay, now what do you do? Just before they get into their game, as a SNC coach, you leave them. After this, you leave them, right? So you'll just make them do some jumps. So some plyometric work also happens. Okay. So what we'll be doing is we'll be doing jumps. I'll give you signals where I'll say 10%, 20%, 30 and so on. And finally, you'll go to 100. You can face the camera and do it so people can see. Okay, ready? So let's start. 10% jumps, just very easy. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 500%. 1 and 2, come on, and 3 and 4 and one more, 5. Super. So now his run, heart rate is up. Now his jump, legs are all ready. Now what do we do? Maybe one last thing just before they get onto the field. Okay. So we'll just charge up. We'll start, again 10%. Start this. This sometimes you can join them. Okay. 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%, 80%, 90. Come on, 100. Go, 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 go. Stop. So this is the build up. This is almost like your end part of like a war cry. Okay, you get the whole team charged up. From here, they move on. Now they're all ready to get into play. Whether it's tennis, it's badminton, whatever. What did we start with? Prayers. What did we end with? Jumps, sprints, that whole movement where they're charged up voluntarily. This is how a warm-up should be. Start slow, completely to the mode where they will be on to playing. So when they get onto the field, they are ready completely. Okay. So that's your warm-up there. We will be next doing the cool down later on, but yeah, you hope you get this whole idea. You start slow, you finish charged up. We'll try to make this into one clip where all exercises are together. Thank you.